Live. We're going live. We're going live. Welcome back to the Attitude for Gratitude weekly podcast here at Will Work for Recovery, 2520 North 2nd Street over here in Minneapolis. It's where we all come to get our recovery, and this is the place of places. Don't forget, tomorrow's a huge day down here. It's the open house. Tomorrow at Will Work for Recovery at 11 o'clock. It starts 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. We got food. We're roasting a 250-pound pig, burgers and dogs, plus a lot more root beer floats after lunch. We got a large bouncy house, a large blow-up slide, face painting, live music. Danny Blake's band's going to be here playing. We got DJ Tim on the... he'll be entertaining us while there isn't a live band going, so there's always going to be some music going on. It's just tug of war, a large parachute, egg toss, so much more. There's a suggested donation when you get here, but no addict or alcoholic will be turned away. So come on down. It's so family and kid friendly. Come on down and be part of that day. Bring everyone. It's going to be a blast. We got this whole place on lock. So the big parking lot right there when you pull up on North 2nd Street, you won't be able to miss it. We're going to have all the you'll see it from a mile away. So just hop on North 2nd Street, 2520. I believe the inside, the center will be open as well, I believe. There's going to be tons of stuff. We're going to pop and all that good stuff. It's a day of fun. So come on down, be part of the day. If you're looking to do something, be part of it, there's plenty to do as well. But as always, like if you're struggling tonight, please reach out. I'll eventually have my number scrolling across the bottom of the screen here, and you can reach out to me directly or come on down to Will Work for Recovery. We've got meetings every day of the week here. We got 6:30 a.m. meetings, like Monday through Saturday. We've got 1 p.m. meetings, like every day of the week, basically. We've got 7 p.m. meetings every day of the week, basically. We got the Sunday fun days going on here. For the football games, we got barbecuing going on, tons of activities. Like you've heard people week after week on here talking about like what Will Work for Recovery is all about. So come on down and check it out. This is where you have a voice, and your voice is valid. And we stand behind that here at Will Work for Recovery. It's like I said, I'm a product of it, and a lot of people you hear on here are coming from a 7 o'clock meeting for the most part. So, you're talking to people who are living this program for the most part too. And it's a blast. If you want to come down and just sit in the background and check it out, that's what you can do. American Pie Pizza, again, came through. He came through with like 5 super good pizzas. I was giving him a guff last week. I was like, you know what? I think it wasn't as hot as it was the week before. He's like, what? And he didn't know I was just messing with him. But so tonight, he went above and beyond. Like they came in steaming. The deal where you take a piece and the cheese stretches for like a half mile. It was super good. Plus, he brought some chicken in. Like they partnered up with us. Any way you want to look at it, I support American Pie Pizza for the main reason it's good pizza. Other than that, like I said, he supports this community. He's the guy who runs that. Too. And no, Gracie, like get right in front of your mic so I can start talking to you, please.
I didn't say I was doing that.
Yeah, but you're in the guest one seat. All right. And my guy here, ideally, if you don't have to move the mic, sweet. Otherwise, try to move up to the mics.
Okay.
I know that's not fair to tell you guys that. Is it sounding better? Robert? There you go. There you go. I know my voice from the edge of the world. All right, you know what? Just let me go over this one more time. I don't know if we were cutting out or not, but tomorrow's a huge day down here at We'll Work for Recovery, 2520 North 2nd Street. It's their open house. This is a huge, huge event. It's going to be so fun, and all are welcome. Super family friendly, super kid friendly. Like a 250-plus pound pig is being made as we speak. There's burgers and hot dogs and root beer floats after lunch. We got pops and waters, all that good stuff. Coffee. Of course we have coffee. Come on. But there's a large bouncy house, large blow-up slide, face painting, live music. Danny Blake's band's going to be here playing, and while he's not playing, we're going to have DJ Tim on the microphone, making sure we have some music and fun going on. Tug of war, the big parachute thing, an egg toss. We just tons of fun. So come on down, bring the friends, bring the family. All are welcome. There is a suggested donation. Do we have a dollar amount that we have placed on it, or just a suggested donation? And you know what? No one's going to be turned away. You come on down. There's always some cleanup you could do, or you could help. And if you're not able to do that, just keep on coming until you are able to do that type of stuff. That's my story. I wasn't able to put money in the basket at the beginning, and they told me it was one of them promises, like, keep coming back until you are able to. Well, I'm able to, and it's because I kept coming back, and it's places like this that taught me that. So the other thing is, like, we all have a voice, and it's valid. It says it right there. Your voice is valid, and if it's on cardboard, it's real. Can't wait till you see the new T-shirts either. When are our new T-shirts coming? Ooh, I'm going to stay on them about it. Other than that, again, like I was saying before, if you guys have suggestions for the show, anything you want us to see us talk about, and where you want to see it go, the direction of it, whatever the case, come on down, check it out, and please share some of that, those suggestions. And last but not least, American Pie Pizza. They came in strong tonight. We got like 5. I was telling you, I don't know if this cut out earlier, but I was giving Will a little bit of guff. I was like, dude, that pizza wasn't as hot as I'm used to. I think he's got burn marks on his arms from him carrying the pizzas in now, because he showed me they were cooked. And they were, like I was saying, I was trying to explain earlier, but I don't think we had good internet. It was one of those deals, you pull the piece off, and the cheese just goes and goes and goes. So fire. Their pizza's so awesome. We've had multiple people in the past come to us to ask if they could sponsor the show, and we have always turned them down all the way back from 2218 when Tad and I were doing this, and we've never accepted a sponsorship. We still haven't. I'm still not accepting a sponsorship. What I'm accepting is a partnership. This way I'm not held accountable to American Pie Pizza. American Pie Pizza is not held accountable to me or this show, but they show up. Hey, did you guys see that? No one's paying him. He won't let me give him money, but I try to. But he brings pizzas down. He brought chicken down, and he feeds us. Like, the pizza's awesome, too. Like, that's what I can get behind. Let's get after it. Tonight, we got some people in the house. I'm going to peel their wig back on some conversations here. And I think we're going to start with Miss Gracie's in the house. Miss Gracie's been on the show before. She was on the first one that we had here at We'll Work for Recovery. And she plays a real big role here at We'll Work. So, want to throw your headphones on. And let's start off with who you are. Let's start off with what you do on a day-to-day around here. Oh, you don't want to put it on over. You're good. If you don't want to wear it, you don't have to.
I got it.
All right.
I ain't worried about my hair.
Oh, it's so beautiful. So, yeah, that thing just... You know how I wear it, Gracie? Is like this. I'll do this sometimes. I don't know. Figure it out. Okay. Sorry we haven't even touched on an ounce of recovery talk yet, but we're getting there. So, Gracie, let's do this. Right there.
All right.
All righty. Who are you?
I'm Miss Gracie. I'm an addict. I've been sober since 7/12/21,
And how long have you been coming to We'll Work for Recovery?
for the last 5 years.
Tell me and the audience, how would you explain this place to someone? I don't think I did this to you when you first came on. How would you explain this to a stranger?
Well, I'm just, if I was a stranger like I was when I first came here,
Yeah.
when I walked in the door, I was like, what the world is this? But once I got it, if you want to be helped, it's all of what you want to put in your recovery. Can nobody make you do anything? But since I've been here, I'm on the board. I got a lot of stuff going on. Everything is pretty good. My recovery, I've accomplished a lot since I've been in recovery. Uh, some days everybody don't have a good day. Some days they do, and some days they don't. But other than that, everything with my recovery is just about helping people and being there for them and showing up.
All right. You want water? Robert? All right. So, Gracie, I'm going to make you elaborate even further yet because
Okay.
no, and it's a good thing. Like you got involved. You get involved wherever you go with recovery. Would you agree with me saying that?
Yes.
Why? Why do you?
Because that's what make my recovery be stronger and keep me clean, helping others and putting back out and just showing the newcomers that it could be done.
So then the reason I go into that, like I've said this to you so many times before when I ask these questions, I know these answers. You know these answers. We have a lot of people who listen who aren't in recovery. They're thinking about coming to recovery. They're thinking about, well, what does it look like to be in recovery, or what do I do when I get there? There's fears. We're driven by hundreds of forms of fears that we're not even aware of half the time. But like getting outside yourself and like you see a newcomer, how does that interaction look when you see a newcomer show up?
Course, I introduce myself. I tell them welcome, and I try to tell them, if you sit here and you stay here, you know, you will learn a lot, and you get a chance to, a lot of them come in, they want to move real fast and real quick. But I'm trying to show them it's a better way. Sometimes you got to sit down, shut your mouth, and just listen
Breathe.
and breathe, and then when get out of your shell, speak, say something. If it ain't nothing but your name, just say hi. I tell them all the time, it ain't what you said coming out of your mouth, it's just you making yourself comfortable with being in recovery. And once you learn that, you'll be okay.
I agree with you fully, and I'm I'm one of those guys who came in here with like his ass on fire, chicken with his head cut off type of deal, running around like crazy, and just a lot of this and not listening. And I was real thirsty for recovery when I came in here, but I didn't. It took me a while to shut my mouth and listen. But it was people like I can't say you because I wasn't around you that much in the early. I mean, we knew each other, but it wasn't. It was some older timers that told me basically like, Tim, shut the fuck up and listen. And that's a humbling, hard thing to hear from someone, but I needed to do that to start to learn something about this new life. For you though, Gracie, being part of like a place like this, kind of explain to us, what does that mean? You said you're on the board. How did that come about, and what does that even look like to be part of the board at Will Work for Recovery?
Oh, I got to that part because me showing up, being there, being involved in everything, and they know anything they ask me, I'm willing to go overboard or whatever it takes, to make my recovery be more at peace with me, for me and the newcomers. I help with the parties, all type of stuff around here. I try to do my best on everything. I try to show up. Anybody having sober days, especially if you close to me, I make sure there, you be good. Just doing something. My life consists on giving back. That's my recovery.
And you can you would correlate that, like that would be a bold statement you would make. Is like the reason I have the recovery I have today is by me giving back,
Yes,
and your actions prove it.
I try to.
You know, I know these. Like I said, we know these answers,
Right.
But I feel like it. I say it because of people who are listening. We see Miss Gracie moving. Gracie, the mother of recovery. So hold tight. Don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. These are the guests tonight. For now, I might. Yeah, because I knew I was gonna get a fart noise out of you. Rob comes on and instantly we hear a. Who am I looking at? What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan, get closer on that mic. Uncomfortably closer.
Jonathan.
Welcome back, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Tell me something about yourself in recovery. Tell me about you. Something, anything.
Oh, well, boy, I am, the first time I came here, just speaking about this place specifically, Miss Gracie was one of the primary people that I met, one of the first people that I met when I came in the door. So she's always had a special spot in my heart. And I was brought here by a mutual friend that we both adore, and it was very, very special. And my life took a little bit of a twist and a turn, and I saw Miss Gracie again when I came back through the doors and told her I needed another updated.
You came back through the doors.
Yeah.
What do you mean? What happened there?
Is
Are you okay with that? We talk about.
Is that a trick question?
No,
Well, I think it's.
What? Did you go back out for some research?
I
You
think-
had a
yeah,
good time.
I did a little.
Did you cut me off again?
No. What'd you say?
I don't think is my mic on.
You're on loud and clear,
Is
bro.
it?
Oh, your headphones might be down. That's what it is. Here you go. Is that better?
No.
Oh, maybe that's not you. Hang on, just
No.
bear
I
with
don't
me,
think- I don't-
sexy.
Me.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're this one, Robbie, right?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Sorry about that, you guys.
It's all good.
We had someone on here the other week who said relapse doesn't have to be part of our stories, but it is part of some people's stories. You were talking about Gracie, and then you said when you came back, what happened?
I stopped coming. Very, very critical element to maintaining the recovery is to stay surrounded, stay involved, stay plugged in, stay connected. It's the direct correlation between falling off and losing that, needing to change my sweatshirt sober date on my arm that I had.
Oh,
That's what I keep bugging her. I see her and I'm like, can I get another sweatshirt?
Who was that one? One
I need
that
a new
Sam
date.
and they,
The
who-
messenger, was it the messenger ones or what?
Yeah,
is it?
the messenger.
the black
was-
ones with
I
the
think
white.
Brianna was the one
Brianna,
that-
that's who
yeah.
it was. Brianna
Yeah.
or Brianna.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good thing it wasn't a tattoo, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't get mine tattooed.
You never know. Tomorrow's not.
Well-
Go ahead.
That might be commitment. I mean, maybe.
I get it. I know. I
No,
get it.
No, it should.
Whoa, the C word. Ooh. Uh-oh.
But anyways, yeah. Anyways, that's just it. I'm back on track, and very excited. 6/1/23 is my new date.
Oh yeah, good stuff. It's just coffee.
I know, I don't want to spill it.
Matter of fact, you're right. Joe Lissa's in the house. So here's the thing: is I brought up the relapse thing because I had someone approach me offline after the show last week about some personal stuff. They listened to the show, and we talked way late about some stuff. And they're talking because someone came on the show and talked about relapse. It doesn't have to be part of your story, but we understand it can be. Like I talk about, I walked in these rooms, and I have that same sober date from that day I came in. My clean date's the same, but let's not kid yourself. I thought I could stop on my own. So every time I thought I could stop and told myself I'm done, might as well just say that's how many times I relapsed. So for 3 years, I sat and relapsed daily. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I kind of worded to this person because they felt like they were so defeated because they relapsed and they were back out there with the new clean date, this and that. And after thinking about it, like, that's my story. I tried to stop for 3 years. I just didn't come to these rooms to do it. So every day I woke up like, God, I'm done. And then I'd use, well, there's a relapse. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't really matter. You're here now.
That's right, brother.
That's the way I see it. So you got a connection with Gracie that goes back to your first time walking through these doors, huh?
Yeah.
And I think you talked about it, but You said a friend told you about this place.
Yeah.
All right. What would you tell someone asking about this place? I always ask about
yeah,
this.
the first time I was on here, you asked me that question, and it's so hard to put into words what this place is and what it means, and the experience is just so unique. It's very special. It's just real. You know, it's as real as you can get. It's as raw as you can get. I mean, people just say it like it is, and there's people from every area of life that you can imagine, and it's just the diversity in this room. In that room is just unbelievable. The people come. There's no barrier. I mean,
That's good. There's no barrier.
no.
The only barriers I see that happen are the ones we put up.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Me and Rob were talking this morning because there's a meeting that's getting started, a Narcotics Anonymous meeting there used to be a meeting called AFL, Addicts for Life. One of the best. It was my first NA meeting I was ever part of because they held it at the place I did my inpatient, so it was a no-brainer. And Rob came up with an idea of hosting a new meeting at this tattoo parlor. I mean, it's not really even a tattoo parlor.
It's a tattoo shop and an art studio.
And we were talking about it, and it's like, I thought about our conversation after we talked, and it's like, I don't know if this is the right way to word it, but like, I want to get back to what was so fun about a specific type of meeting. Like,
Yep.
because we talked about that without really even elaborating on that aspect. Like, I want to go back to what we were excited to show up for. Like, we look forward to going to this meeting. Kind of go into a lot of depth about that, Rob. First, introduce yourself, and then go into some depth about what we talked about and what to look forward to on this meeting.
All right, so yeah, I'm Rob. I'm an addict. I've been on the show before, more than once, more than twice. So like essentially, the conversation we were having is that like, I want to kind of mirror, you know, it was, you know, a lot of people, like it was just more of a connection with the recovery community as a whole. And I've noticed that since COVID, you know, there's just a couple of meetings that, you know, are kind of, it's just there's that meeting and then there's another meeting. Like I want it to be more or less like, I want it to be a meeting to whereas like the newcomer can get something and also so can the old timer or the in-betweeners, whatever. I want a meeting that like everybody can get something out of, you know, because I know for Phoenix NA, you know, a lot of people that I kind of, you know, guilted into being of service at that meeting.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. If you're friends with me, I'm probably gonna guilt you into doing some stuff that's good for your recovery, because I'm a dickhead like that. But so basically, a lot of them people that volunteered or were of service at that meeting, you know, after they had left and checked out of the meeting, one of the common things that I got was I just wasn't getting anything out of it. You know, and that was the thing is like, you know, in my head, I got irritated because it was like, well, all right, well, then whatever you want to get out of it, man, come over here and put it in, you know, but that wasn't really what was received. And, you know, fast forward 3 years later, it's just time for me to go do something different. And, yeah, I want that. I want it to be something that we get to look forward to every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, whereas like this podcast is kind of something you look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
This is my Friday night meeting. This is my new AFL. Like this was
Right.
turned into my new Addicts for Life was this podcast. And then when Paul and Carolyn, when I brought it to them, like when I wanted to relocate the show, like that gave me that kind of fire that I'm talking about. Like I'm hoping we can find for what we're trying to do with that Saturday morning one.
Yeah. And if you're listening too and you want to be of service, man, just holler at me. You know, it's not my meeting. It's going to be our meeting. So, you know, if you got ideas, suggestions, any of that stuff, like just, holler at me. You know, I'm working on getting some of the positions filled, you know, in the meantime. But I just, you know, I think that the more meetings that there is out there, the more of a chance that the addict who still suffers gets a chance to actually live, you know, and
Right.
and that's what getting clean is now, is living, you know, because like if you stay out there, it's not if you are going to die, it's when. Unless you know you're a social drinker or some weird stuff that people
Some
talk
normie.
about, some shit that doesn't make any sense to me. But you know, that's just the deal, man. Is that like, you know, like one more meeting is just one more place for an addict to go. And the thing is too is that like it's at an art center, right? Like, you know, Tim had mentioned before. So like during the meeting, there's art supplies. You can do art as we're doing the meeting. You know what I'm saying? And instead of instead of going out to eat afterwards, we're gonna go.
They are.
I'm gonna be walking.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You know, and the idea behind that is like a, you know, being health oriented. You know,
Yeah.
one of my most spiritual things I can
Talk
do
about your- how it's
is
been.
run around Lake Calhoun, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that, like, you know, as a meeting, you know, it'll get some people to help other people and be accountable to help them meet their fitness goals, their health goals, or, you know, because I know a lot of us, you know, we struggle with like, oh, I'd like to lose 10 pounds, or I don't know. For me personally, I do it because it just helps my mental health, you know. But I just think it would be cool, you know. And then like we have an idea that like, so before the meeting, like people are gonna go out to breakfast. So like we're gonna go out to breakfast before, go to the meeting, and then afterwards we're gonna go run around the lake, run/walk/ you know, whatever. And that's kind of like the vibe that like AFL had, you know, because people went out and did fellowship before, and then like you'd have the meeting, and then people. I think that like the recovery community in general that's lagging is, you know, fellowship. You know, I go to like meetings and people aren't really for the fellowship no more, you know. And
Right.
I know for me early on, man, that's like what kept me here. You know, I got to know a lot of people, you know. So.
Bob, hang on one second. I'm putting someone in this chair, and the four of you guys are gonna hold this conversation. You're gonna keep talking about this meeting that's starting, then you guys are gonna talk about what you're looking forward to about tomorrow and why you're looking forward to stuff like that. So, Rob, keep explaining to us about what that looks like, this meeting, and why we're doing it. I know you have gone on and on about it, but we're having a lot of feedback. You guys are gonna keep talking.
Oh,
And what
okay.
you gonna be doing?
Okay, so I'm looking at the screen. So, yeah, Jalissa, I don't know if we can probably make it a hybrid. I mean, I don't see why not. That wasn't something that I had in mind. But thanks for bringing that up. That's something I didn't even think of. So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility as well. So this dude, he left just to eat some chicken.
No,
That's what, yeah. He's lying. He's lying. He wanted to eat some chicken, man. He's a liar. This dude. Yeah, so.
Engage him. Get it going.
Well, Gracie says she wanted to be the treasurer, so we kind of we're getting somewhere on that tip, you know. And I don't know. I mean, like, because the idea is that like, let's do more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just think that there just needs to be more of a variety, like there was before COVID. You know, like there was a Sunday meeting I really liked that dissolved. There was Addicts for Life that I really liked that dissolved. And basically all the other Narcotics Anonymous meetings in the area, there's a lot of them that really never have gotten back to their full capacity. You know,
Can I ask where that meeting's going to be at? Or where?
the meeting that I'm speaking of that we're starting, it's
Yeah.
on 35th and Hennepin at
Okay.
Iktomi Tattoo, or Iktomi Art Center.
Okay.
Yeah, right off 35th and Hennepin.
Okay.
So it's kind of a cool location, you know. It's an art studio, man. I'm hoping it can just have that vibe of just being like, you know, a cool atmosphere that like, you know, we can get a recovery on, and like I said, it can have something for the all arounder. You know, I like to incorporate, you know, some meditation, like devotionals or something like that, you know, where we can speak on or like read from Living Clean, and you know, and maybe we'll rotate the format or something like that. Just ideas, you know. Just some things that like, you know, I'd like for it to have, and you know, because I've been a part of Phoenix for 3 years now, and yeah, it's I still love the meeting, you know. I've been there since the beginning, but I think it's just time for something new for me. So, and I'm hoping that we can just put a whole different vibe to it. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like people like kind of like this place, right? So when
Yes.
people ask about Will Work, they're like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
You know, and you can tell them what it is. You know, with the cultures and the atmosphere and all
Right.
that. Like, I want that to be this meeting.
Yeah.
You know, like not another Will Work, but something that is like I can't explain it, but you should just come check it out. You know what I'm saying?
How can you explain this place? I mean, it's just so diverse and unique that it's just hard to put into words. People got to see it almost.
And
you know?
that's what I want to do with this one.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that we have the means to do so. Free art supplies and whatnot too. So I mean, like that's also kind of appealing to those that like can't pay attention. You know, super good. I'm one of them, but unless I'm given a task, then I do all right. But A lot of times I just space out. You know, I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but I'm definitely one of them. I'll be mid conversation and forget what I'm talking about, and I hold that. It's a little bit of it's due to the drugs. You know what I mean? Let's just keep it real. I may or may not have done too many. You know, and I may or may not have quit too soon. Or I think I quit too late. You know, but. And we ain't getting none of the brain cells back. That's the bummer, but it's cool. I can still breathe and walk and talk and all that fun stuff. Just sometimes I drool on myself and eat like an 8-year-old, you know.
You know, and that's a good thing. Rob is trying to put this together, and I was thinking of some stuff too, because at Rob House a couple of years ago we used to do the breakfast thing.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, so I was thinking about starting up doing the breakfast thing probably on a Saturday morning, or not a Saturday morning, on a Sunday morning early at my house. Do a big breakfast
Yeah.
every Sunday, and do a little private little meeting because I have a little room downstairs that everybody can get in. And we can sit down there on Sundays morning. All I gotta do is let them know in advance that I'll be using it on Sundays morning for a couple of hours. So I've been thinking about that for a few weeks. You know, trying to do something different. You know, I want to, you know, try to bring in more newcomers and get them together and get them out here where they could, you know, they could feel the comfortable like I feel like, okay, I'm good enough where I'm in my recovery where I could pass it on to another person. And that's what I want them to feel. And, you know, by me being coming here so long, a lot of people here, you know, look up to me and I look up to them. Like I told them, it ain't no big me, little you. I'm just as like one of y'all. I'm one slip away from a relapse too, you know. I'm no better than nobody else, and I'm not trying to be no better than nobody else. All I'm trying to do is keep my recovery and make sure I, you know, show people that I can do this and I can help other people without being, you know, no messy situation or none of that. You know, I want to be at peace. You know, I didn't, you know, like I told them, you know, I be moving around and I do so much. Lately, I've been feeling like I'm overwhelmed a little bit, but right now, you know, I'm trying my best to think of something. You know how you get complacent in your recovery, so you want to start doing something else different, and that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
Just going by the name "Will Work for Recovery," I gotta say, Miss Gracie seems like the poster child for that one. You know, she's like the living, you know, expression of that phrase. You know, so that's beautiful to hear somebody with her experience come in and step up to the plate and, you know, take the torch and take her own torch and, you know, do her own thing. I mean, that's beautiful. That's such a powerful part to this whole program, I think.
Yeah, you know, it's again, this whole program, it all depends on people like Miss Grace, you know, who have this success at their recovery and passing that on. And Will Work for Recovery. I mean, this is an awesome place for, especially for these younger newcomers into recovery,
Yes.
because, you know, this is like the opposite of a church basement. And you know,
Yep.
I understand a lot of these kids like it, you know, the ordinary meetings that are out there in church basements and stuff like that. Some of them are just too boring for this younger crowd. And this place is not, you know. I mean, this is the absolute opposite of a church basement. And so I think that's a huge, like, selling point, and this is a perfect setting for newcomers. It has, you know, attraction rather than promotion. We've got attraction here,
Yes.
and I know from
Thanks, man. Oh, you're talking about this place. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. I don't know where them sound effects are, else I would have made some.
But yeah, I mean, from the first day I came in here, I walked in here, I was like, wow, this is the coolest meeting space I've seen. And what's more than that is the crowd here is amazing. I've met some of the coolest people that I know in the short while I've been coming here. And I just keep coming back. So, I mean, but yeah, thanks to people like Miss Gracie, you know, passing that success in their recovery along.
You know, I look at this, you know, it's a learning process. All this is. I'm still learning. You know, I don't think I know everything, and I'm trying to do something else different where somebody else will be more excited like I am. You know, walk through the doors, hey, this is my recovery. I want to do this. You know, because it can get overwhelming and it can get tiresome and you can get like shut down, but
Complacent.
you complacent. And but if one thing you got to do, you can like, okay, I want to be in my recovery or I want to be on this other side. So I chose to be in recovery. And for me, I don't feel like I have another relapse. I can't say that for nobody else, but I know me, I don't feel like I have one.
Right.
I completely, boy, I feel like I agree with that big time, but excuse me. This place,
He's like, but I don't know. I feel like I do, but I'm not gonna.
It's okay.
you know, this life experience has convicted
that's
me
good
very
enough.
much about that process, and it feels like, yeah, there's not much left in that, or the attraction for it. There's really no fun in it anymore for me. I just don't have the glory, I guess, that, you know, maybe I hallucinated back in the day, thought that it was. But what about this place too? Another thing about the exciting thing hearing you guys talk about doing new meetings is just coming from an inpatient treatment about a little less than a month ago. It was hard. We would do outside meetings, and some of the meetings were just really boring, you know. And compared to this, this was the favorite meeting for all of the people in our facility that we went to, that we look forward to coming every week. So just it's very exciting to hear you guys say that there's, you know, more ideas and thoughts of, you know, making new
Yeah.
new environments.
And like, I got an idea of like getting like the Fires coffee out there.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I know that there's a
Okay.
couple of coffee shops right by there, and I'm wondering if maybe I can holler at, you know, some of them and be like, hey, look, we're starting this meeting over here. You know, can you plug us? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's
You know,
Meetings
that-
don't use any coffee, do they?
what's that?
Meetings don't use any coffee, do they?
A little bit, just a smidge, you know. So that'd be cool, you know, like just
Yeah.
kind of get some new coffee going, you know, just get some new stuff going, you know. Like I can grow my beard long. I'll buy a tall bike and I'll start smoking my e-cig and get some blueberry pomegranate
No,
grape
please
juice,
don't.
you know.
We love you like
I'll
you
get
are.
my tall bike and you know.
I love you like you is, okay? No changes. now.
Yeah. No more smoking. I'm done with the smoking, so I can't do that. I might get a tall bike. No, I'm not gonna get a tall bike. I'm not tall, so. I mean, it's just a thought. I mean, it would fit though, but I don't know. Here's Tim. Yeah, pretending like he's doing some work. I was kidding. All right, good.
Don't go
You wanna
far
take
though,
my
'cause we're getting back on.
No, I'm not.
I gotta go back. I got
Yeah, he's gotta
curfew.
Oh. All right, tell us what you're grateful for before you leave, my man.
Wow. I am grateful for this place. I am grateful for my children, and I am grateful for God and recovery.
The last thing,
That's it.
will you come back on?
Absolutely. Is that
Perfect. Thanks, brother.
trick question? Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
Look forward to it again. Nice seeing you, Miss Gracie.
Love seeing you.
Will's going to
Take
take
care.
your spot, and I'm going to take Rob's.
All right,
But
good.
Rob's not going far. Yes,
He got
You're
us.
not leaving, huh? No,
I'm trying to
you
run.
go-
Yeah, come on.
Did you even talk at all?
Yeah, he did.
Paul, will you get in here real quick? Let me hop this seat for a sec.
Come on, Paul.
Now you guys are all seeing the inner workings of the podcast. See? You want that AC? Perfect. Watch your feet all in the porch. So,
I would disconnect everything on my way out.
all right. So we were talking about some things going on, and the big thing that I did bring up was like tomorrow, and we were talking about how Gracie is super involved here, and we got a new guy who's on the show that has never been on here. I'd like him to introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Will.
Welcome, Will. Get a little closer to that microphone uncomfortably.
Get up on that mic.
How do you know about this place, Will?
We'll Work for Recovery.
Yeah. How did you hear about this initially? Do you remember?
I was living in a sober house, and somebody brought me here.
Oh, yeah. How long ago was that? 3 or was it after or before COVID?
2021.
Okay. So you've been coming here ever since, like religiously.
Yeah.
What?
Found a place I like.
This is the question I love asking everyone. How would you explain this to somebody else? Like if they're like, "Hey, Will, I heard about this place. We'll Work for Recovery. What is it?"
I explain it to people. I've been in recovery several times. I would go to meetings that I never really liked.
Okay.
You know, I thought people were fake, lying. And I just came here and it was totally different.
Like instantly type stuff, huh?
Yeah.
First ever, I believe. So, Will's the one. If you guys don't know, he's the one that I'm always thinking about the pizza. He's our Pizza Connect. This is our partner. I don't know how we want to explain our relationship. Partners. Like we don't do sponsorships. That's only when I'm working steps. So, Will's our pizza guru guy, and also. We're going to move on from this, but what else besides pizza? I know you're not on here to advertise your menu, but what else? Because I just tried your chicken for the first time, and you guys, some of the best chicken I ever had. Gracie wasn't lying. It really is. And Paul said to me, he's like, Tim, you want to know why I know it's good? It's not bad I share this. He's like, it's the cleanest kitchen I've ever been in. Well, no, that's
true.
valid. That's valid to say that because.
Listen, I'll tell you what else. He makes the best coffee.
Yeah.
in the
At a pizza
community.
spot?
No,
Oh,
here.
here. Yeah. But I do think that's valid to talk about the cleanliness. Like, we never get to see the ins and outs of a pizza spot or a restaurant, but I've worked in multiple restaurants. Usually you're sweeping stuff to the wall and you're not really cleaning stuff. Like, most places I've worked at. And when Paul said that, he's like, Tim, I can guarantee you that's why, like, shit's good there is their cleanliness, like that's like a key thing, and just whatever. So what else do you guys have? What else do you guys offer besides just pizza? It's called American Pie, but
Burgers, pizza, chicken.
like gyros too? Or?
No,
Okay.
that's about the only thing we don't have.
Okay. I thought I saw it on the menu.
You play
Hoagies.
too much.
Hoagies. No, I did. I thought I saw it on the menu.
Whenever I'm driving by there, the place is the best.
Where's it at? No. Where is it? What's the address? I never give the address.
66 in Nicollet.
66 in Nicollet. Guys, there's not 4 locations. I'm sorry. I thought there was, and I was sharing with where they deliver. So, and this show is about recovery, but this is a big part. Like, you're able to show up for the family business, and a big part of that is because of your recovery, correct?
Yeah,
Like, you're dependable. Like, this is a family business, correct?
correct.
Yeah, and I don't know how it came about that, we're going to partnership on this. Gracie, you said you've been there?
Yeah, I went with them. It was good too. Can't you tell?
So here,
Can't you tell?
here's a question that we've asked quite a bit on this show is higher power stuff. Like, Ms. Gracie, do you have a higher power? And if so, are you able to utilize that for your recovery?
Yes, I got a high power. I don't trust in nobody but him.
Amen.
And I'm keeping it real.
So when a problem arises, like, how does that look? A lot of these are basic questions to
Yeah.
us. Like I said earlier, like, we know these answers, but people listening aren't sure how a person would utilize their, like, when you're in a struggle, how do you utilize your higher power?
I go somewhere peaceful and I sit there and I talk to him. I turn it over to
Nice.
him and then I let it go.
That's right.
That end part's the one I pray about, that end part, how to let things go.
Yeah. I always like to say, whether he is or he isn't, man, when I'm God conscious, things are good.
It
When I'm
is.
not, I'm bitching, complaining, and this, that, and the other thing. So it just kind of solidifies that, hey, I'm not in this to walk around miserable. I'd rather be God conscious and happy and have some kind of peace and serenity. So
And I think I've shared that. A lot of the things you say, which you are always clear, like, these aren't mine. I've stolen from someone else.
Absolutely.
I've heard them, but I always repeat that. Like, when I'm God conscious, like, my days are better. It's just when I'm keeping a higher power at the forefront, for some reason, life is better. I don't know if it's just keeping you humble or it's like, Will, what does that look like for you in your life? Is there a higher power for how does that look like for you? Do you have a higher power?
I do.
Okay. Are you able to utilize it in your recovery, or
I have.
you have? I got to learn to ask you questions where I make you give longer answers. Not
I'm
yes
gonna,
and no.
I'm gonna tell you one thing about Will, man.
know.
He's the gentle giant at Will Work Recovery.
Right to the
he
point.
doesn't say a lot,
Nope.
but he does 110% around
Yes,
here,
he
man. This
do.
dude is a
Microphone.
vital piece of this Will Work Recovery down here in many
And he
many
has
ways.
since day one. I mean, since he
day
walked
one.
through.
Since he came in,
Yeah.
he's just been a part of. Like I said, he don't say much, but he does a lot.
I remember thinking you guys were related because how, like, out of the blue, it felt like, oh, who's that dude? He's always with Paul. Like, Paul and him are close. I thought you guys were cousins. No, I'm serious. A few of us did. I think at the goals group, we were like, who is that dude and how do they know each other? Because of, like, instantly you were involved. Like, instantly it seemed like we'll work for recovery.
That's what I tried to do. As much as I did using,
Come on.
I tried to do that with recovery.
Yes, yes.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, I got to tell you too is it started out. Will asked me to sponsor him, and I said sure. And I'll tell you what, man, it didn't take long to figure out that we sponsor each other. Will has straightened me out and held me accountable in so many ways. And I just want to tell a quick story about the time that this dude was just doing his job, and I was like, this SOB, da 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 da. And I don't remember the details, nor do I want to share the details. but Will looked at me and he says, man, you should really apologize to that guy. And I'm like, man, what do you mean? But he this, he's that. It's like, man, he's just doing his job. And it didn't take long to take off. And I was thinking, you know what, Will, you're right, man. Never forget that day, because like I said, man, it's one alcoholic working with another alcoholic.
Yeah.
There's no hierarchy in this program, man. We all need to be held accountable. There's nobody that's holding the golden key, man.
And this, I think, is pretty valid in what you just said. And for people to hear this, and I think it ties into, like, everyone has a voice and it's valid. You've said it a lot, and it's right up there. 24 hours is the world record. Like, Will only had, when he said this to you, maybe a year. You've got multiple years. Time doesn't.
Exactly. This was what, 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 years under your belt, and you've got 13 years. Like, that doesn't mean it. You can get it's God. What am I trying to say? Time doesn't equal recovery.
That's
No.
right.
Time doesn't equal recovery.
Like I said, it's not the profound shit we say; it's the profound shit we do. You know, it all sounds good, but if you ain't doing it, it's BS.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actions do speak louder than words in all aspects of life. And this, I've been told this since day one. This is a program of action. I mean, it's a whole total lifestyle change.
Yeah.
The lifestyle change.
The answer to life is learning to live, man. That's what we're in this for, man. To learn to live.
And I think you said something really, like, brilliant. If we're in England, I'd be like, "That's brilliant." But, like, why would you be in this if you're not happy? Like,
Well,
why?
Jordan, that one meeting, she said,
Come
why get clean if you're going to live like you're using?
Yeah.
And I've shared this before too, man. Is like, I got a phone full of stuff that I've heard in these meetings from other people. None of this stuff is mine. We hear this stuff in the meetings, and they're spiritual awakenings, spiritual experience. They're ding moments that I kind of like go, wow, and then I just internalize it and apply it to my life, and that's how this stuff works for me. Because I'm still a mess, man. It's like I said tonight in the meeting, man. That I just love to remember where I came from, listening to all these newcomers saying this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, wow,
Yeah.
that could be me.
Well, I agree with that. I didn't know how I worded it before. I think I was trying to explain it to Gracie once, like, that's where I don't want to be again. And they're coming in from that grimy, that life, and it's a good reminder. And it's unfortunate that we have newcomers, because it'd be nice to say everyone's got time and they're not coming in these doors because it's getting better out there. But one of the main things we ask in that 5 o'clock when someone comes in from a relapse is the dope any better?
Right.
I mean, it's sarcastic, but is it getting any better out there? Is it worth it type stuff? Gracie, you're the only woman on the show right now, and I know you go to the 5 o'clock women's meeting quite a bit. Can you kind of tell us? We always talk about what the 5 o'clock men's meeting is like, how we hold each other accountable, crosstalk 5 o'clock. What's it like for a woman who's looking for a women's meeting? What would you tell them about the 5 o'clock meeting here?
Oh, for one thing, with the ladies' meeting, you know, everywhere I go, people been looking for a ladies' meeting, and I tell them where we at and what we doing. And so far, I'm getting so many women to come here because, you know, a lot of women don't like sharing, and they don't like being around somebody that's gonna be, you know, sarcastic or just, you know, cutting them short. You know, they want to sit there and they want to talk and they want to feel comfortable. And that's what we do here. We make them feel comfortable. And if they have any suggestions, like I tell them, do not cross talk with nobody being sarcastic. If they want your opinion, you give them opinion. If they don't, let it go. You know, because everybody don't want an opinion. They might just want to just want you to listen. And so sometimes we just have to listen and what they going through. You know, everybody don't want to like, okay, I need to hear what you got to say. No, let them sit there and let them do what they got to do. But so far, everywhere I go is nothing like every time I go somewhere is someone, I at least bring like about 2 or 3 more women new to the group each time.
It's
Gracie brings up a good point. It's like, you know, it's a great place to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because you can get comfortable getting uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not even home group material, man.
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's a
Will you
great
share
place
about
to
that?
get.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a great place to get started, man.
Yeah.
And unwind and get a little vulnerable, so that when you do go out there to a structured AA meeting, you know you know how to handle yourself. You know, because we get a lot of people in here, man. You know, and they're not all on the same page.
No.
You know, it takes a minute for people to get comfortable. But we do a hell of a job as getting them uncomfortable, don't we, Will?
You're very good at
Yeah.
making me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like how I made
Yeah.
you the whole top half of the screen. I
Yes.
didn't mean that.
I ask Will every Friday night, what's your number? I'm handing out tickets. I don't get a number.
Because what is Friday night? The Friday night meeting. Want to explain that real quick to people?
It's a call-up meeting. We hand out a ticket, and if your number's called, you just say what you're doing in recovery, what's going on. If you got anything to say, man, like I said, the more you start talking, man, before you know it, you can't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's huge. A lot of us who had a tough time getting outside of ourselves or getting out of this shell, I think Will Work for Recovery is a great place to work on something like that.
Even getting Will on here tonight, this is
Oh.
a good thing for Will. 'Cause,
Yes.
man,
Huge.
this dude has some really good things to say. Right on. You can see how ready he is, can't you?
Yeah.
It's hot in here.
I got the AC blowing on your back. I guess you can turn it towards you. So like I heard, not picking it apart, but like we talk about it. Men, I hear some differences in the women's meeting and men's meeting, and a lot of that has to do with men and women. Like whatever the case is, at 5 o'clock, the men's meeting, we do sometimes not interrupt, but it's cross talk at 5 o'clock with us.
Man, our buddy Sheldon deemed
Sheldon,
it crosstalk
yep.
at 5 o'clock
Yep.
because it's not a structured, you know, we're just in there, man, to hold each other accountable,
Yep.
give some
Right.
feedback. If it doesn't apply, let it fly.
Yep.
You know, don't take things personal, man, because none of us are perfect, man. Like I said, there is no golden key. Nobody's holding the golden key to this stuff.
No one's
man.
higher up than anyone else.
No, man.
Right.
24 is still the world record, right, Will?
That's right.
That's right.
Gracie, you said you bring 2 to 3 women when newcomer. Do you mean here or whenever you try to go? So what were you talking about?
Whenever I go different places, they want to say, I need me a instructor ladies meeting. I tell them, come on over to Will Work for Recovery.
Okay.
And I get here on Wednesday, I look up, I'm like, okay, it's good. You know, every now and then we might be a little short, but for the majority, we have a nice little crowd.
You have that like 15 to 25 usually, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you to talk a lot about that here at Will Work for Recovery, that 5 o'clock meeting. That's been pivotal for me, and I know at least 10 other guys in a goals group. And you get to see people grow.
Yeah.
Also, real quick, to tell everyone about something that's going to be happening here is you see this right here in the picture, this big blank wall. We've got 2 of our artists that'll be coming in here, and they're going to be doing a mural right there. So we're looking for ideas. We did leave it up to the French brothers to do what they want, but they also asked me to put this out there to ask for any suggestions of whatever you want them to have a mural on this wall. Come and let me know, or come on up here and write it up there, and they'll do it. So that's going to be some fun stuff going on here too. We also want to talk about a little bit about this thing tomorrow. Now that I got you on the air, I know we breezed through it earlier, but who's welcome to come? We know who is, but who can come tomorrow? The dollar amount.
Live music stuff, like you said, you already went through all that. It's a free event. There will be some donation buckets around. Feel free to donate anything. It all helps. These places do not run by themselves.
No.
Not here, not anywhere.
No.
There's cups, there's water, there's forks, there's napkins, there's paper towel. So whatever you can contribute is great. But tomorrow is a free event.
Yeah, that's huge. So bring everyone, come one, come all. It's going to be a blast tomorrow. And I know Jared, he's working on a lot of things coming forward too. I know we're looking at some stuff for Halloween, and we've always got some things going on here with events. So come on down, 2520 North 2nd Street at We'll Work for Recovery. You're always welcome to come on down here and put forth any ideas.
Speaking of ideas, I just been kicking it around with Will and a few others, Jared, about doing a dart nights. The nights are going to be getting colder, and we put a few dartboards in here and get maybe a dart league going or something. So that's something I'd be open to some suggestions on like say a Thursday night from 8 to 10. Just come down, recovery darts, play cricket.
Cricket.
Yeah, but we're just trying to find ways to stay open and that people got a place to go, man, and hang out and cut it up.
Yeah, that would be legit.
Yeah, because it's finna get cold and people gonna
Yeah.
get really complacent and everything. So
Right.
we want to keep them here, give them something to do. And like I was saying, that's what I want to do. Start the breakfast thing at my house. The breakfast we gonna.
Is that a winter thing usually?
Yes, I used to do it at Rob them house. I cook the breakfast every Saturday morning, but I was saying I'm gonna do it at my house on the Sunday in the party room. We're gonna start doing breakfast there.
Nice.
Anybody welcome to come eat breakfast. We're gonna have a big breakfast, all the good stuff, all the goodies.
Doesn't that sound good, Will?
Every time Miss Gracie cooks, it's good.
Every time. I can vouch for that. It's a blast when she cooks. So yeah, we didn't have as many people show up to the podcast tonight. And here's the thing: moving forward, we were talking about this. We are going to probably be moving it to earlier, back to what it was when I first came. Before we move the show, I think we're going to do 8 o'clock. Is going to be the new start time? So share that out there in the community. I'll be on here at 8 o'clock next Friday, and come on down, be part of the show. Come on and eat some of this American Pie pizza. What else did we want to touch on tonight, boys and girls?
I think we didn't cover pretty much everything. But I just want everybody to come out tomorrow because it's gonna be a big blast. We're gonna have fun tomorrow. Let's go.
Everett, did you want to hop on before we end this and you tell us what you've been grateful for and how life's looking? Sure. All right, Gracie, I love you. I appreciate you as we always do. And thank you for all that you do here. What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for having you guys in my life.
Oh, that was an easy peasy one. So, Will, this is where I make you have to speak up. This is the part in the show, hence the name Attitude for Gratitude. What is your life looking like today with your gratitude, and what's that even mean for you?
What I'm grateful for today is being a better father.
Amen.
And you are.
I mean, almost 3 years sober. That's, to me, pretty impressive.
It's a miracle, bro.
It is.
Like, yeah.
I'm grateful for my health.
Yeah.
My kidneys have a little problems, but now they're maintaining. So
Not as bad as they probably once were.
exactly. I'm grateful for you, Paul, Miss Gracie, the center. I'm really grateful for a lot of things, but
If there's, I mean, and this is all, I should add this to it. If there's anything like I didn't bring up or that you want to bring up or add, like now's the time, just a topic you want us to talk about, anything, feel free. We're on no time schedule. So bring us up a topic, Will. What's the chicken recipe at your spot?
Let's not talk about food.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Yes, sir. But
Let's ask Everett what he's grateful today, because I'll tell you what, he texts me every day with a grateful,
I
with,
did
with a
forget
couple
today.
gratefuls, and he's really good at this stuff. Let's hear what Everett's
Come on.
got to say today.
All right, man. Yeah, today I'm grateful for a lot of things. One thing I mentioned earlier in the meeting was that, I'm in the middle of was in the middle of a 20-year probation sentence, and I'm getting off 9 years early.
Nice.
And
9 years?
9 years early.
huge.
Yeah. I mean, I don't plan on getting any trouble in the next 9 years anyway. but that's huge for me,
Right.
But I mean, I'm just grateful for everything, the way my life is going. I've been trying on and off at sobriety for many years now, but like this time around is, I've just been blessed with, I got Paul's sponsoring me. I'm coming here. I just love this. This is the coolest meeting I've seen. I'm grateful for you guys, Will, the pizza we had today.
Yeah.
Next weekend I get to go hang out with my daughter. I got
Awesome.
so much to be grateful for right now that I could go on all night.
That's great.
That's the way life. Hey, that's the way life gets a beat today. Is like that. Let me real quick read something. I love yours. I love your gratitude, Will. I'm grateful for the ability to be present and to give back to those that were there for me in the beginning, and started this and gave me an outlet to stay connected when I was way out in the friggin' sticks. Like, this is Jolissa who put this up here. She's been supporting this podcast for almost 3 years now, and it's like this part of gratitude that keeps me almost like when Paul talks about God conscience, like when I remain in my gratitude and keep that at the forefront, like life's better. Like you're saying, like you can hear it. You're talking about all these, like I've got so much to be grateful for. How can I let shit get me down? Me personally, it's hard to sit and stew on some BS when I stay in my gratitude. What's your thoughts on that, Everett?
Yeah, I've said this all the time that like gratitude is probably the single most important part of my recovery. Honestly, acceptance and gratitude. If I don't find gratitude, the first thing on my mind is Jim Beam, and it is, and I know that. So when I get up in the morning every day, the first thing I do is, I find something to be grateful for. Usually it's my cup of coffee, and that's simple shit, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
just recognizing that in the morning, hey, this tastes good, and I like it.
I remember when all I would get would be a single pack of Instant out of the vending machine, and that's if the other guys didn't buy it up first with their money. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Like a cup of coffee that you got to make yourself is a huge one for being gratitude.
Yeah, it's just got to be something,
Right.
You got to find gratitude.
Amen.
It's the key. I'm serious. It's the key to recovery
Oh yeah.
for me.
So Paul, what does your gratitude look like?
Man, I'm super grateful for Will. I'm super grateful for Carolyn. I'm super grateful for my dog Petey and Daisy. I'm grateful for a lot of things, as Will said. Gratitude is key, as Everett just said. Every day I'm grateful that I'm not high, I'm not drinking. The list could go on. I mean, it's kind of a basic question. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that I'm sober today. But more so, it's got to be Carolyn, man. This place would not be up and running without Carolyn. She does a lot. It's a lot of work and a lot of stuff that I would not be able to handle, man. And she handles it like a true soldier, man. I see the stress. I see it's just a lot of work, man. So I'm grateful that she's keeping us afloat, man, and making this all happen. And like I said, down the road, man, we're doing big things, man, and I just look forward to it. We love running by the seat of our pants, I'd like to say. And Carolyn would crack my head and say, you know, you don't call it a
'Cause she-
hangout. You
yeah.
don't call it, you know, you don't say we're running by the seat of our pants. But, you know, that's what we're doing.
But you know what, Paul, is I made this correlation after Everett first shared, and I guess I just want your take on it a little bit, and then we're gonna get to wrapping up. Is I see it in the same way that you talk about being God conscious. It's like when I'm in my gratitude and I
Yeah.
keep that at the forefront.
Yeah.
It's hard to be on some BS or upset or depressed or
Right.
this or that. Just like when I'm God conscious, I'm doing good. Like not much is getting me in my head or down. Just like when I stay in my gratitude, like, yeah, get to be with my kid or shit, I'm sober today. Whatever the case is, like keeping these good positive things at the forefront, life's easier.
You know, I'll tell you, even, and I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but when I'm listening to, say, KQ and listening to 93X and I'm listening to some of that rock and roll, and I'm not feeling like, you know, crying and into any kind of emotions. I turn on, you know, the Christian station and
Classic
man,
piano, like something.
I'm crying. I'm in my heart. I'm in my soul, man.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer for me, man. When I'm that way, it's like, why don't I want to stay that way?
Yeah, it's a
You know,
no-brainer.
so why? You know, so like I said, whether he is or he isn't, man, you know, I stopped the fight. I stopped the, you know, I just know that when I'm God conscious, man, things are better. I
That's-
didn't get in this to, you know, remain the same.
To live like I was using.
Yeah.
All right, well, before I wrap everything up and go over what tomorrow's going to look like, anything you guys want to bring up? One last, anything else before I get to wrapping?
Thanks for having me on.
Oh, you don't have to do that because you're going to be expected to be back on. You're my partner, dude.
I'm going to tell you, this is how this works. Just getting Will up here, just
It
one
starts
time
here.
at a time. It
Yeah.
starts here. Like I said, everybody's got a voice. It's
Yeah.
valid. It's important. He got
now you're a
uncomfortable.
regular,
and now
Will.
he's going to get uncomfortable, you know, every other week.
Well, like Paul said, we go around at the end. Everyone has a voice. It's valid. This person that's never comes out of their shell one day says bacon. Then the next week, all of a sudden, bacon, eggs.
Yeah.
Then, you know, a month down the road, they're talking, they're sharing, they're getting outside themselves.
Right.
They transform. It's Metallica, Tony. Yeah. That's funny. ADD. Woo. So, but I agree with this. Like, and I think that's a huge cornerstone of will work for recovery. Like, you're valid. Even your voice is, but you're valid. Come down here. Like, you mean you're part of this.
Yeah.
You have a voice. It's valid. Like, keeps this place coming. Come on down. 2520 North 2nd Street. Be part of it.
Get out yourself.
Get out yourself. Be part of it, not a part of it.
That's right.
All right. Well, shit. The love is there. We appreciate you. Hope to see you tomorrow at 11 o'clock down here at, like I said, 2520 North 2nd Street. It's going to be a day of fun. Music, food, games, fellowship. It's going to be awesome. So come on down. We're still up in the air if we're doing the podcast thing during it. We'll see. It doesn't matter. We're going to have a day of fun. So we appreciate the support. We love you guys. Thank you, each one of you, and Gracie for coming on and keeping this going.
I just want to give one little shout out to one of my best buddies, Jeff S. And he told me one time, he says, I got to get way in before I end up way out.
Jeff S.
I like that one.
You can't. Jeff S. is one of those guys. He's you can't wipe the smile off his face nowadays.
Oh, are you right about that?
Yeah, doesn't matter. You could have a power sander and that smile's not leaving his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Recovery's good, boys and girls. Come check it out. It's free for the taking and you deserve it. If you're struggling, please reach out. You're worth the fight. No one's told you that today. Let me tell you, like, I love you. You're loved. You're worth the fight. So fight for yourself. Fight
Amen.
for your
Right
recovery.
on.
Come find it down here at Will Work for Recovery.
Right
Till
on.
next time. Adios.
Juice.
Yeah.